business leaders and surgeons and barristers. I see women who are going to win elections and science competitions and arts awards.
Do not be afraid to fail.
We can
All right, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy Tiff Talks Sunday. We are back for season 6. Season 6. We have been on hiatus for a little bit, enjoying some self-care and quality time.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're back. So we're
like
back.
We never left.
Like we never left. And I have my song playing in my head, my welcome back song. My welcome back song, but it's always exciting when we have the opportunity to come before you and to continue this pillar of our community in podcasting. So I am happy and so grateful to be back and to be welcomed back. So welcome back. For those of you that are new to this platform, my name is Tiffany. I am a licensed clinical social worker by trade and a community activist at heart. And this platform, JKC Marketing Tiff Talks, was created as a safe haven to be able to tackle cultural taboos that we're already discussing amongst our friends, amongst our peer group, at brunch, at happy hour, at the office, in the break room, at the beauty shop, at the barbershop. So what Kenshay and I like to do is just to bring more awareness, more insight, education to these topics, because we consider ourselves to be conversation starters. So we come before you and start the conversation and encourage you to continue that conversation, to just bring elevation to the matter and awareness to the matter. So I am going to allow this beautiful lady here the opportunity to introduce herself and her role with this platform.
Hello, everybody. As you know, if you don't know, I am Kenshay Saxton. I am the executive talk partner for Tiff Talks. I am a staff director for a church. And this platform, as she said, is to bring awareness to those topics that y'all may be scared to talk about or you don't know how to talk about. But we appreciate you guys sending in topics. Y'all let us know. Y'all really give us a blueprint of what to go by or what to talk about, because we want to do that. We want to make sure that the topics that we're speaking of is stuff that you guys are asking us to talk about that you just don't know how to start. So within this first topic, y'all got to welcome us back. She's going to tell y'all the title in just a second.
Yes. So, going back and forth, we always have a theme for the season. And this season's theme, we kind of went back and forth on a couple things, not necessarily the context of it, but how we wanted to present it.
Correct.
And where we landed was the impact of authenticity. And for me, I think I've just gotten to a point in my life of when it comes down to truth, I have I've come to have a fun love for truth, in that I understand with its challenges, with its pain points, truth and authenticity is always in the best interest of all levels and all parties that are involved. So in order to really just dive deep in this season and the topics that we're going to be presenting, that we want to present, it's important that we're authentic about it. And I think regardless of the pain points that may come along with it, and we're going to be talking about some pretty heavy topics, we want to come from a place of understanding that the intent is never to harm, never to hinder, but always present and give the information, the education and insight in a way to produce elevation, in a way to improve escalation in one's own life. So that is our theme of this season, the impact of authenticity. And today we're going to be talking about no filter. No filter. And it's crazy because in this day and time, like with social media, with the culture and everything that is and will be in between, there's always some sort of filter.
Always.
And there's some sort of lens that someone may be hiding behind, or a screen that one may be hiding behind because of
insecurities, things of that nature.
Yes, insecurities, the lack thereof, impact of understanding, perception and perspective.
Yeah.
And for me, like I said, I've just gotten to the point where I'm like, just give it to me. Give it to me and give me the opportunity to process it, to get to a point to take on the opportunity of if I'm going to accept it or not, or how I'm going to address the situation as it is. So when it comes down to the impact of authenticity, I think about all of measures that goes along with elevation, escalation, and liberation. And authenticity is what I would consider to be the most liberating thing. And starting with that, I think it's important that we're able to have a moment of reflection. So I want to start this episode off with, talking about the reflection of Tiff Talks as a whole. Like we had a great 2022. Like we had so many, we hit so many milestones. We had so many great things to come out of 2022 that have really just like elevated us to a place, and the whole platform, and just wanting to do more and go farther and give more for our community. And I mean, just starting off, like we had an entire whole nother successful year of podcasting, and of those 2 seasons, we increased our YouTube traffic, having more subscribers to come on and to be a part and be in the know with our YouTube channel. Our highest rated show was actually our men's health show and episode that was with Ray and Ken, our other talk partner. And I think that conversation in itself just spoke so freely and so authentic about men's health and the struggles that people have, both men and women, with addressing men's health. Because if even if you're not a man yourself, you have a man in your life that you care about, and caring about men in your life, you care about their health, you care about their well-being, and it's our job as women to be able to support that. So that show in itself just was candidly beautiful in its own right.
The vulnerability,
Like
I'm telling y'all, I've never seen a man be so vulnerable. And I think if we had more men of today to be vulnerable, then the impact of that particular show, or just men's mental health, I'm sorry, that it would make a big difference. Because a lot of men think that mental health shies away from their strongness, or whatever you want to call it. It makes their masculinity, and it makes them weak. But it doesn't. Take care of your mental health.
And I think what we found through last year, and for me personally, is the power and the strength in vulnerability. I think so often we kind of look at the numbers and look at the logistics and not necessarily the inner beings and core of things. And for me, that's what your authenticity boils down to, your inner being and your core. Another like great thing, or great things that came out of 2022 for Tiff Talks, was also our financial literacy. That was like an add-on that we came into, having like a family affair game night to be able to talk about the whole life insurance policies, about assets and benefits of those things, and be able to like have the kids there to
show them how to use money. I mean, we played every money game you probably had off the market.
We did.
And then even a few of our own that we did. So I love the fact that last year, 2022, we added so much to the platform of just being us. And we tried to do a lot of custom stuff. And I really enjoyed that. But for that financial literacy, it was everything.
That was bomb. That was definitely bomb.
And we had the older people there too, y'all. They took it serious, y'all. Tell y'all. Can't wait to do that again.
I'm looking forward to that. We definitely had seasoned money and seasoned experience in the room.
I'm trying to tell you.
And they let us know about it just the same. We also added and had our very first health and wellness fair, which was like a highlight of the year for me. And being that something that we had discussed so many times, and being able to get to a point where we were able to like executed.
Yeah.
That was beautiful, like being able to partner with the city of Houston,
So
being
many
able to
different
have
vendors.
being able to have so many vendors to come out. BZB, Dunn came out, the hair center was there, like
Yes.
the book boy was there. Like we had so many people that were in the room and were, you know, there to give back to the community
Yes.
and be able to be of service. We partnered with the Houston
The
Food
food
Bank,
bank,
yeah,
yes.
and with the AIDS Foundation,
Yoga.
yes, we had live yoga. Like we had so many interactive things that really drew the community in, and those are things that I'm truly looking forward to, and being able to go into this 2023 to have more community engagement and have the community engagement where they meet us there, like, you know, and we be the ones to be able to meet the point of the need of the community. So those are some things that I'm very excited about. What about you? Like, what are some reflections from 2022 that just are over the moon for you?
So I'm gonna jump because I'm telling y'all, this was by far my favorite thing of last year.
What was your
Visionary
favorite?
Weekend? When I tell y'all the whole weekend, I take that whole weekend and say that, like, I truly enjoyed it. The vulnerability of the ladies, the intimacy of the event. Our guest speaker, we've never done that before. Yes. But when I tell you the gems she dropped, was everything. Nikki, that she dropped was amazing. I mean, the spa, amazing. Like we had so much stuff for that particular weekend that we've never done before. And you know, Tiffany was like, when she first came to me, she was like, I'm a little nervous. I said, I ain't worried. I'm not worried at all. And that's how I am. Like, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And we're gonna make sure that it happened. And we did above and beyond. The whole team participated in Visionary Weekend. That's true. And that was big too. So kudos to the whole team. Because we never really have all of us in one space and really giving for the entire weekend. But that we did. From the food, we had it catered, which was good. You know, I'm into food. We had Marcus to come and paint a picture. Like, oh, when I say beautiful, I don't know if I want to give it back to Tiff Talk. Y'all, I might just put that on my wall. But it was beautiful. It was a live painting, so it was the setting, the mood, the vibe, all of that he put into that picture. That was awesome. But my takeaway from 2022, all of our events was, you know, they always awesome. But again, like everyone has said, we go harder every time. Every year it's gonna get better. And I applaud you guys too, because without you guys, that would not be the case. So we say thank you. And again, every event that we had was amazing. But by far the favorite for me will be Visionary.
And I think, like, for me, like, I agree with like the intimacy and the vulnerability that was shared with Visionary, but I love that it was so inclusive. Like every attendee, for like, take for instance the reflection dinner, every attendee had the opportunity to come up and be a part of the live demonstration and the live painting. So as this being our very first like work of art, as a business, as a platform, to have everyone there to be able to add to the painting, that meant a lot for me. And then even the next day having our extension of Visionary be, you know, unveiled to the attendees and being able to showcase our first calendar, like that, you know, that meant a lot to me. And I feel like we did so many things right.
I agree.
We did so many things right. So going into this year, it's important to me that we continue to do those things right. And I think for like one thing that I know for sure that we did right is that we like strategically planned. We prepared in advance.
That too, I wanted to say that. I mean, let me tell y'all how it was though. We planned so good and got stuff done. We was like, well, dang on. Everything else that we need to do. Like we were trying to find something to do when everything had already been done. So I'm taking that back too. For this year coming.
Strategic planning was through the roof, and like even spilling over into now, like during our box sets, having things already prepped and prepared and planned. Like the box set party that we just did, we literally got the official date 24 hours in advance.
And those boxes went out
24 hours in advance. And I think if you know, the person, I was gonna say the purchaser, if the person wasn't like familiar to us, we probably would have panicked. But like, because we'd already like had in place these boxes and knew, that their reservation was coming and what it was going to be, not knowing the date, but knew that the reservation was coming, we were strategically planned and prepared. So when we got the number, when we got the date, it was like, oh, let's just pull this inventory. We got this. We can do this. So, I mean, I think those are two things that were very important to me that I truly feel will aid in, this next year and aid in being able to continue these, liberation, elevation, and, escalation for 2023. One thing that I think I did haphazardly, unknowingly, was being able to make room and time and balance to a certain extent for procrastination. Like, I'm finding that my procrastination is not necessarily procrastination out of not wanting to get something done, is the fear of things going wrong or things going right. And that very fine line of what that looks like. And I think for me, like, I'm very transparent in saying that I'm not the type of person to say that I don't care about other people's opinions or other people's perception. And I think if you are a business owner and you don't care about the perception of your business, that may be a problem. And I say that because your business, your community, like the people, your consumers that, spend their money with you, that spend their time with you, though their perception matters. And for me, like, being able to understand that perception matters, that kind of puts me in a place where I will kind of delay things, because I have this fear of it not being what I would want it to be, and maybe I need to sit on it a little while longer. So I know I'm going to work on the procrastination, and by doing that, I intend to really just, continue the strategic planning, continue the preparation by way of such to know that I can execute and have more confidence in doing so. So what about you?
I'm gonna carry all of that. Because like you say, procrastination is for you, it's the fear of something going wrong or something going right.
Right.
I remember when Pastor Dre preached his sermon, about it being the gray. It was for Easter series, but for me, procrastination has always been a key for me, because I'm like, people say the last minute shade, but I do my best work burning midnight hour.
She loves
midnight oil. Yeah. And it's like, because I know that it's gonna get done. I know that I can do it, and I do my best work when I'm under pressure. So that's just me. So I procrastinate because I feel like procrastination helps me along the way. But I do not have the fear of things going right or things going wrong, because it's gonna go either way, and I'm gonna make do and make best of that. And from last year, taking the whole procrastination, like I said, I feel like that was our best year yet. When we first started, we would, like she said, the oil. I know that I can do that, but the team ain't set up to do that. So I mean, we here 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, doing 24-hour shifts. I mean, it wasn't for them. So we had to minimize that time. So I've changed that. So 2022, we did an awesome job with preparing ahead of time. Yeah. And like I say, we were so much prepared that we were looking for stuff to do the week. We were. And we've never done this. So I'm confused. I was like, well, what we gonna do? Like, we gotta do something.
I wrote out a checklist because I'm a checklist type of girl. Yes. So I wrote out a checklist and I was like, okay, let me go through the checklist. Let's go through the checklist again. You sure everything? She's like, yeah, it's good. We don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I am not I'm not a midnight oil type of girl. I like to get my sleep, and when it's time to lay down, I want to lay down, and she don't get that. So we still working through that. I think for me,
but it has gotten better.
It has gotten better. There's been a healthy balance of that. A healthy balance. For me personally, like, some things that I feel that I did right for me is I did a lot of self-care work internally, like understanding beyond the cliche of it starts with you. beyond that, just doing and digging a bit deeper is where my self-care has been. Like, I didn't get a chance to do a lot of spa days. I think my only spa day may have been our spa day. Yeah, the Visionary Weekend. And I think with that being my only spa day, of course I caught on a couple of brunches and stuff like that. I did not get a chance to travel like I wanted to last year. I think my only travel was associated with the kids. But for me, like, truly, I really believe that I did a lot of internal work, and that is what I'm proud of. And that's what my therapist is proud of too. So I'm proud of that. When my therapist is proud of that. And what I want to take into this 2023, excuse me, is just the power of discernment, the power of judgment, the power of boundaries. I learned a lot about boundaries in my adult life, especially last year. I think when we was talking about that, like in kindergarten, I may have missed that day of school or something like that. I'm gonna have to check in with my mom. I may have missed that day of school, kind of like Jaden, when she missed when they went over the seasons. But yeah, I did a lot of internal work, and I'm very proud of that, and I want to take that into my 2023 because I know that's gonna aid me personally in my relationships, in my rapport, and my exchange with people.
And also the platform too, because like you said, that it starts with you. You have to have a healthy version of you, mentally, physically, financially, all of that good stuff. So you have to be with self first. So I believe that last year I did a lot of self-care as well. Thus the midnight oil had to stop. Thus the finding true happiness within myself, in order to give that out. Just overall being a healthier version of myself in every aspect of life. So I'll do that right going forward, and boundaries as well. You know, sometimes your boundaries are your boundaries and it ain't moving, but sometimes they bud. Yeah. But, you know, learned last year that I'm not budging. My boundaries are my boundaries, and I'm going to stand on just what I say. Yeah. So taking my self-care and boundaries over.
And I think for me, when it comes down to boundaries, I'm at a point where I'm strong enough to check my own energy. So it's like I'm in a year of alignment. That is my focal point, my power word for this year, 2023, alignment. And I told myself that I was going to listen to my body when it comes to alignment, like my gut feeling, listen to the, you know, that inkling inside, like, yeah, something about this not right, or yes, this is what you should be doing and where you should be going. So for me, being that this is the year of alignment, I want to make sure that everything that I do, all places, people, practices, all the P's, all the nouns, that they align, and that they align in a place that is ultimately for, you know, elevation, liberation, and escalation. So I think when it comes down to alignment for 2023, there's some things that I want to make sure that I can and that I carry with me, and listening to my body is one. Both physically and, you know, mentally and internally, listening to my body and understanding where if it doesn't align, then it's just simply not meant, and being okay with that. And then checking my own energy to say, okay, am I the person that's not aligned? And if I'm not aligned, then take a step back and not impose any ill will or off alignment of that, of other people and what they're doing, because it's not just about the energy that you give, it's also about the energy that you carry. So I want to make sure that I'm doing energy checks for myself.
I agree. And I can agree with all of that. The alignment, I think that's very big for this year, because a statement I just came up in my head was, if it don't align, I'm not going to rewind. So therefore, if it's not matching up with what's in the alignment for that particular point in life or point in this season, whatever the case may be, I'm not willing to go backwards. I'm only willing to move forward. Yeah. So I agree with that statement, alignment.
I like that. Some things that I want to give away or not carry is like the figurative the figurative timeline and expectations.
Mm-hmm.
There is an old friend of ours that would always say, like, to know Tiffany is to love Tiffany. If you know Tiffany, you will love Tiffany. If you don't know Tiffany, then you wouldn't love her. And at first, I guess I kind of took offense to it, if that makes sense. But in my 30s, now I hold true to it, because there's never, like, I'm not one that has any ill will or has any anguish toward any one person. But I do have unrealistic expectations at times for people. Like, I've come to learn that everybody can't be me and they won't be me.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, what I don't want to carry into this year is the figurative timeline and the figurative expectations that I place on people, places, or things. Because it only is a burden to me. It's not a burden to that other person.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want that to be a burden that I have to carry. And that plays into my own energy checks for myself.
I agree with that. I think for me, I would not like to carry or wouldn't take over for 2023. I mean, something similar to what you said is I've learned that I love hard, or that I give my all, and everybody's not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to come to a realization that I'm not going to give what I'm not going to get back, or what I can't give back. I can recall somebody asking to borrow money, and I'm like, if I, because when I let you borrow money, I don't say I want my money back, because realistically, if you ask me for $100, I'm going to give you that $100 just because, whether you give it back or you don't give it back. But I'm not going to give it to somebody that I know won't give it back for me, or can't be there in the time when I need it. So I think the faith that I put into others, or at that aspect, they just can't, like she said, they cannot be her. They can't love like I love. They can't give like I give. They can't do the things that I do. So that's a realization that I have to work on, but I will not be carrying it over to 2023.
I think what I found about, like, that in particular is that, and this is like when Ken energy checks me, he's always kind of said, like, when you give, because I think we're both givers. When you give, you may not always receive from that same person. So I've come to be less focused on giving and more focused on the gift itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what I give to this relationship, I may not get back in this same relationship, but I may get from another relationship or from another person. And just the same, like, if I loan somebody $20, then I may find $20 in the pair of pants that I've been looking for in my, laundry room, which has really happened in life. So I mean, those are facts that I know to be true. So I think when it comes down to giving, I'm moving away from the figurative thinking of the expectation, but that I don't think that's going to change my gift.
Correct.
If that makes sense, because I'm now at a point where I don't look for people to be me, because I know they can't. There's only one me.
You better know. Talk about confidence. Baby. And that's how it's supposed to be.
That's one me. That's a good and bad thing, depending on who you are and how you receive it.
True.
And because there's only one me, I will always be able to give something that no one else can give.
Correct.
So because of that, it's built my confidence in who I am internally and the person that I project externally.
That's good.
Yes.
That's real good.
So we talked about reflections. We've talked about what we can carry, what we can. Now, I think to kind of wrap up, it's important to talk about the things that we can do a better job of caring of and caring for. So what is something this year, 2023, that you feel that you can do a better job of caring for or caring of?
Myself. Again, it all starts with self. So I think that I can do a better job at self-care. You can, I mean, like I've always said on every show that I do, and if I'm going to talk about self-care, it's a journey. And it only gets better with time, and you must be consistent with caring for yourself. So I think for 2023, my focus will be for myself. That's for time. That's for finances. That's for self-care. And we're gonna get into self-care. It's not just the bubble baths and all that good stuff. But self-care is actually just caring for yourself in every aspect of that. So I think myself.
I think she was looking at my notes, y'all, but I'm not gonna say it out loud.
First of all, if she know me, I ain't go that far down in her notes. I did the first two questions.
So for me, something that I feel I can do a better job of caring for are things that are directly impacted by me. I am a firm believer of being a good steward of time, a good steward of your energy, and a good steward of your effort. And for me, I know that I can do a better job at that. Even with the procrastination, I can do a better job at managing my time because that's something that directly impacts me. I can do a better job of my energy and of my effort because that directly impacts me. And then, of course, like I said, listening to my body and do a better job at managing and, listening and taking into perspective and taking into, what needs to be practiced with discernment. Discernment is a big thing for me this year. So that's something that I'm working on and that I want to see executed into my daily, life. So that's a constant prayer for me, that I practice discernment, that I practice wisdom, and that I'm a good steward over those things that are directly impacted by me. I always go back to and I'm not a religious person, but I'm definitely spiritual and I am a believer, but I always go back to the kids that were in Egypt and them being in Egypt for these 40 days and 40 nights and these complaints that they had about being there, although they prayed and cried to God to come from Egypt. So for me, I'm at a point where I'm in order for me to truly go to the next level, in order for me to elevate, to escalate, and to liberate in my life, I have to be a good steward of the things that I've asked God for, because I don't want to be a complainer and God be like, oh no, I'm not going to take you to the next level because you complaining for what you asked for. So that's where I am in life. And I'm really looking forward to this 2023 journey. I anticipate great things with Tiff Talks, great things with this platform, great things with us personally. And just those great things for all things that we're connected to. So, okay. Any takeaways from you?
From this episode?
From this episode.
From this episode. Okay. Yes, plenty of takeaways. I'll start from the very beginning. I'll take away the procrastination aspect of it. Being more conscious of it, number one. Focusing more on the outcome and not necessarily how we're gonna get there. Also the taking care of self, taking care of time, listening to your body, knowing your energy that you carry can also spill over. So it's an exchange thing. And patience. All things will happen in due time.
I like that. So does that mean we're not going to have no burning the midnight oil nights this year?
I didn't say that. I said that everything happens with time.
I'm just asking.
But again, that midnight oil, it's not going to be if the event is 2 weeks away, the midnight oil might be burned 2 weeks before, But you got to burn some midnight oil sometime.
Y'all heard her? Y'all going to help me hold her accountable?
I said sometimes, so you can hold me accountable. Because it's going to be sometime. So no, we're gonna work on it. We're working on it.
So my takeaways are being able to focus on my own inner peace, my own self-care, and listening to my body. But also being able to practice and maintain healthy boundary setting and discernment. For myself, but also for those things that are centered around me that I'm actively exchanging with. So those are things that I'm practicing and that I'm preaching. And then also the things that I look forward to carrying this year. Those are things that are my, personal takeaways that I look forward to executing this year and really just seeing blossom. I look forward to continuing to dig deeper in my own self-care. I look forward to holding myself more accountable of my own self-care and of my own energy checks, just the same.
Okay. And I'll leave y'all with this statement. And because this shit is gonna happen for me. I want that the energy that I give out or what I give out, I want to fill my cup, and then I'll give out what's on the saucer. So I got that from Mother Bergs, the mother of the tabernacle. Because she said everybody talk about the half empty, half full, whatever you say. She say, baby, she working on her full cup and she give away what's on her saucer because what's in her cup is for her. Yeah. I think Fantasia also said the same particular thing, which was really, really good. Yeah. But yeah, fill your cup and give others what's the spillage.
I like that. Okay, that was good. Was good. A great way to kick off the new season with no filter. And as we mentioned, like some of the topics that we're going to be discussing, Kenshay already hinted at the next episode, will be just the same, no filter. Will be all about context and being able to dig deep and outside of the topic, not being surface level. So we're definitely going beyond the surface level this season, and our next episode will be discussing self-care and boundaries, and we'll be discussing it with the return talk guest actually, that I'm excited to have back and to share talk time with. And the title of that episode is Outside of the Bubble Bath. So talking about self-care as it relates to internal self-care beyond the body imaging, to be able to talk about like what it looks like to set boundaries and keep boundaries, and to really balance accountability and compassion. So I am looking forward to that conversation and looking forward to that talk guest that will be joining us on the 12th, which is Valentine's Day weekend of February. A couple more announcements that we want to, share with everyone and this first day of this first podcast and our premiere is we are now going back to Facebook. You see, the Facebook have allowed us back, so we will be premiering as we have been in the past on YouTube, but we'll be hosting a watch party exclusively on Facebook. So you can now follow us on Facebook at JAY Kencole, KENCOLE Marketing, LLC. Please be sure to like and join that community so you can be a part of the watch parties and of course being a happening and the nose of what's going on in this platform and on the podcast as well. In regards to Visionary, we are continuing our both single and box set party sales through March. So you can purchase single boxes on our Shopify storefront, or you can go to our link bio in the Instagram profile in order to purchase your Visionary box, which is a keepsake box that we're so very proud of.
Yes, we are.
For this 2023. And those sales, as I mentioned, will go through March. And we will also be releasing the full-length Visionary calendar.
Yeah, we are so excited about this.
During the month of March. Yes. So the full-length calendar release date is actually March 21st. We're going to begin pre-sales a month prior. So February 21st, you can pre-sale your order for the exclusive Tiff Talks Visionary calendar planner, and it already has like some great things in it. If you purchase your Visionary box, you actually get a preview of the calendar, but the full length calendar is beautiful. Just beautiful. During the month of March, we're also going to be releasing the initial details for Visionary 2023-2024. So as you are aware, Visionary Weekend, the retreat is actually the first weekend in December the 1st through the 3rd, but we will be releasing details in regards to our landing space and a few snippets. You see her looking in my face, y'all, because you know she don't want to tell nobody. You know she don't want to tell nobody.
We just told y'all it's gonna be in March. We're gonna release y'all stuff in March.
A few snippets of what you can anticipate for this year's Visionary Retreats. So you want to talk a bit about your Goal Sisters, your baby?
I can. So going forward, speaking of the Goal Sisters, it's your accountability partners. It's your good girlfriends.
Yes.
I mean, it's very intimate, how we like it.
Mm-hmm.
So this year we're gonna switch it just a little bit, but it'll still be the same detail.
Mm-hmm.
We will have a Goal Sisters box that will be given out at our check-ins. So we will do check-ins once a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And our first check-in will be March the 4th.
Yes.
And we will release those details here in about a week or so, with the location of the place. I ask that all ladies please register.
Yes.
The boxes will be there. It's not required, but it's definitely recommended.
Yes.
Because
appreciated.
And appreciated. And appreciated. You'll appreciate it just as well as we will.
Yes.
But we want to check in with those ladies, our previous Goal Sisters. I mean, I'm sure we got some new Goal Sisters because I got a few in hand that I gotta call. But yes, so that we'll release that in about a week with the location, the time. Now for that particular check-in, we will. The first round of mimosas, they're going to be on us.
Yes.
And we're also going to do appetizers, correct?
Yes, we're doing appetizers.
Okay. So we're going to do appetizers and mimosas, which will be on us, the Tiff Talks platform. And then you guys are responsible for whatever y'all choose to eat and drink after that. But it's more so for a gathering, a social, just to check in, to get those community. Just to feel the ladies out, just to make sure that we are doing our part. In this Goal Sisters aspect of this Tiff Talks platform. So again, the date for that is going to be March the 4th. And we will release details as the location, time, and then the box amount and all of that stuff. We still have the subscriptions available.
Yes.
If you've already purchased your subscription, your box is included.
Yes.
If you have not, you have the opportunity to purchase the box by itself.
Yes.
Or you can do a subscription, which every check-in, there will be takeaways. Every check-in.
Yes.
So that's every quarter.
Yes.
So if you guys would get on our link bio, will that be in the link bio as well?
Yes, it will be in the link bio.
Okay, so that will be in the link bio. You guys can go ahead and purchase a subscription, and you can also purchase the single box for that particular check-in.
Yes,
but all of that will be available, and we can't wait to see you, ladies. I promise y'all.
Yes,
this is everything for me.
Yes, that's her baby. So, another pillar that we are excited to bring back is our Community Empower magazine.
Yes.
We went on a bit of a hiatus for Community Empower for the last quarter of the year because we were focused on the Visionary Retreat. And this year, we will actually be celebrating our third issue of Community Empower. So in honor of that, we're going to be re-releasing our very first installment, Women in Power, on International Women's Day. So you'll be able to have that re-release for purchase, as a keepsake. And then we will have a full-length new Community Empower issue that will be coming out in April. So more details to come on that. And we're excited to just get the first quarter of the year going. Like, we've been working a lot behind the scenes. But now we have the opportunity to be in the forefront to share the details that she will allow me to share, and to also just to be on the forefront and to be able to engage and interact with our community. So we appreciate you guys. We thank you for tuning in today, and we encourage you to always remain connected via IG here, which is at JJAYKC Marketing, our YouTube channel at JJAYKC Podcast, and also our link bio as well. As always, we thank you for spending your time with us this afternoon, which is the most precious commodity that you can ever have. And we always encourage you to keep talking. Have a good evening, everybody.
Bye.